today?
Yeah.
Call
you back.
You know, it actually makes you talk more if your dad is modeling good behavior than if he's being kind of a jerk. And Brandon and I talked about this, and we.
And it's not like there aren't any bad father, kid relationships in this show. If you want to vary it just a little bit. We got enough career criminals who are fathers in this show to show us the good side of a parent and child relationship.
Right. So we've got. One woman's relationship with one girl, which I see is very positive. We've got, I see Batman's relationship with all his many, basically positive. But Artemis's relationship with her dad, not so positive.
Not so much.
Not so much. When the season ends with her kicking him in the head, they don't have things going too great. I think that I'm really interested in it. We've been really interested in exploring Aqualad's relationship, or Calderon's relationship with Black Manta in this season. I think it's been interesting through episode 7, and I think it gets more interesting as the season progresses.
One of the great things I love about the show, and especially about Aqualad in particular, and one of the things I love to hear about it, and I've talked about this a lot of times because I do on camera and voiceover, but especially playing Aqualad, some of the best parts that I love about Aqualad are those silent moments where he's just standing there and he's looking off and you know all of the stuff that's going through his head, and he's got to be the leader, and he really can't discuss it with anybody else, and there are those moments that he's having to deal with, in season 2 with who his father is, and having to have this relationship, that's literally based on a lie at the moment, and yet so all of this has to be going on in his mind, even in that moment where he comes up out of the water, just so that all of this is that every time he says anything to anyone, any of his friends or his teammates, there's always a double meaning, because of where he's standing, and that silence is so huge to me. And I always say, God, this is the only time I wish that this was on camera because I wish that I could play those moments because they're so crucial. That was one of the things that makes the show so good. Yeah.
What characters do you have really good?
All the rest of them, I think.
We have a lot of plans. I won't pretend that we've actually broken season 3. We haven't, because we're not having it yet. But we definitely have
ideas.
We definitely have plans. Brandon and I have a lot of ideas for season 3 and plans to do stuff. And we know, again, certain characters we're definitely planning to bring in and that kind of thing. I don't know how to
We want to put Aqualad in these really tight little shorts, come back to me with something like that. That's not going to help anybody.
Going forward, are we going to see more episodes? We're going to have 2 storylines going on at once throughout the rest of season 2?
Sometimes sometimes 3 stories, sometimes 12. We got a lot of characters, no doubt about that.
Yeah, I know, like in Justice League and Teen Titans, for instance, like it was very limited onto the characters. Teen Titans followed one Teen Titans, Justice League kind of ignored anything other than the Justice League. Eventually expanded to like unlimited where it had tons of them. But I know with your show right off the bat, you have a whole DC universe. You have the whole Justice League, you've got Young Justice.
That's how we pitched the show. Literally, and that's how we sold it. Was that this was focused on these 6 leagues, but this was not going to be Clubhouse. This was going to be a DC Universe show, and over the course of seasons at least, but we would try and show the depth and the breadth of the DC universe, and probably the length and the width too.
You know, I giggled on the inside. I was trying to come up with a parallel, you know, to throw in there, perhaps a hypothesis.
That was always the plan, you know, and literally that was one of the selling points of the show, that helped us sell it.
How about I got the band guy right there, Hunter, and you. No, that's you with the band on your
I was wondering, is it a band? What?
Wristband.
Thank you.
Really big stigma against anything Aquaman. You know, people think Aquaman, oh, you guys talk suspicious. So,
Right.
like decisions that you make specifically to make Aquaman and other characters sort of have a cool factor. So, you know,
Bare feet.
Yeah.
No, I mean, part of it, seriously, a lot of it, I give a ton of credit to Phil Barras's design. I mean, let's be honest, that design
It does. As soon as I looked at it, I was like, you know, because I get a call from my manager, who's a huge comic book fan, and he's you know, he's like, you got an audition for Young Justice, and they're doing Aquaman, and he's black. And I was like, okay, and then, you know, but I was like, Aquaman, and he's like, okay, and I was like, you know, I mean, you know how hard you gotta fight. You know, like not just. I mean, yeah, Aquaman's protege on one hand, and then lad. You know, fight my lad. You know, and when I got the email and pulled up that picture, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, oh man, this guy is cool.
One of the things that we talked to Phil about before he's drawn anything yet was Michael Phelps. And we're like, wait, swimming can be cool. I spent a lot of time watching that at those Olympics, and on the edge of my seat to see if this guy would get another gold medal. And we talked about his body type with those broad shoulders. And from a costuming standpoint, you know, those suits, you know, those full body suits, obviously his feet are bare. We're like, this guy's dense enough that, you know, he can survive at the bottom of the ocean and he's swimming. Why is he wearing boots?
Yeah.
So we did split footwear, you know, and that made a big difference. And suddenly you got this guy, most of our episodes aren't set in the ocean, so most of the time this guy's walking around barefoot on land and you're like, you know, that's tough. You know? And he's not wearing these cute little mosquito shorts.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's funny because it's like because I living in California, I took up surfing and actually Greg Thanks and Scott Mendel, Team Thanks, you guys got me surfing, and when you wear the same kind of you know suit, so you would come out and I remember I can't remember who. I don't think it was just some random person, and they were like, dude, I'm glad, man. He didn't know that I was glad. He just saw the suit on. It was like, you know, you wearing a rubber suit, and it's like, yeah, it looks like a surfer. He looks cool. And those webbed hands, there was something mysterious about it, you know.
Yeah, the gills and the webbed fingers and toes, and we just wanted to make him a little bit more alien, and again, give him that backstory that I mentioned earlier. So this would be a guy who's, and then Jeff Johns, who was on board from the beginning, he came on board and we were talking with him, and then suddenly it became clear. It was like it had always been true, but we hadn't thought of it, which was that, oh, and by the way, Black Man is a spot. You know, and something that was like obvious. And part of it was also that, you know, Atlantis, we didn't want Atlantis to just be a bunch of white guys down there. And you know, they did a series at DC called Aryan, Lord of Atlantis, and sort of showed that Atlantis sort of, you know, bridged the whole spectrum, and we wanted to do that as well. And so, you know, Aqua was a lot of fun. And then probably still broadly.
And it just happens to be that all that quality is stuff, David kind of like dirty areas, so you can kind of talk, so that when you kind of look down there, you know that you and talk quietly. Did you listen?
And you take that and play it as the bad guy?
Okay, I'll answer for my real question, sorry. I love your voice, awesome, and but also Nathan Copeland from No More Heroes too, that was great.
Oh, yeah. That was funny. He was, they said they did a black Irish guy. Usually that's an Irish group with black hair, and they're like, no, we did a black Irish guy. And so I don't know, every voiceover actor, I know, has an Irish accent, even the black guy. So that was actually fun to do. Yeah. It was big, is what it was.
My question was, Greg, your dance sports was masquerading as a big march this whole time, and we didn't worry about it until near the end of but did John know the entire time that Big Ann was being a white march was masquerading?
And we made the point in his shows that, because if you could fool other Martians, then all the white Martians would just turn green up on Mars and you fool everybody. But the point is, they don't know that. So you can't fool them. So yeah, I think it's just white Martians.
I thought that this is a really mature show, like it's funny, but it's a lot more mature than you expect to find on a Saturday morning cartoon show. Do you ever get flack from the producers about that?
Yes.
I give myself so much slack.
When I was a kid, my favorite shows growing up was Battle of the Planets, and that was and I mean when I was I don't know I was like 4 or 5 or something, and there was a little bit of humor in that thing, but it also was really intense and dark. But that's what I loved about it, is that there was this guy who, and honestly, when it comes to superheroes, for me, I was always looking for, that guy, I love that guy. And I loved Mark in Battle of the Titans because he was skinny, and I was skinny. And I was like, see, he can kick butt even though he's skinny. and it was a lot, and when I think back to Battle of the Planets, it was these quiet, cool moments that I didn't even really totally understand growing up. But it was, but they were serious and intense, and I loved them. And the cool thing about having a guy like Greg who grew up, watching this stuff, he knows that the kids love this stuff too, because we did growing up. There's a place for all the comic stuff, but kids enjoy this kind of stuff too.
Well, and we also try to write the show on multiple levels so that there's a level that our youngest audience, 4-year-olds, can appreciate, where you got just colorful characters, explosions,
I mean, my daughter was 2 when it first came out, and because the first time Aqualad comes on, he jumps in the air and pulls out his water bearers and goes. She looked at it and she went standing by. and to this day, she doesn't call any episode of Gun Justice. She was like, Daddy, let's go standing by. And she's 2 years old, but she loves the show too, and she adores Superboy, and loves Miss Martian, and was in fact I haven't even really showed her season 2 yet, because I don't want to destroy her I mean, it's hard, man. That girl, she still sounds so sweet, but good Lord! Something changed.
I know you use that comics as a reference. So what made you decide to change Superboy's personality from the
we try to think in terms of, if you keep in mind that that Superboy character was created in and among the whole Death of Superman series with the four Supermen, or with Superman, and they really needed in that series to contrast those four personalities. So it's easy to see why Superboy came as a sort of cocky kid that he was there. But if you take the basic idea,